Fresh. Fresh. Fresh.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the We Speak English Good podcast. A little air horn action for you to celebrate this monumental occasion. This being the 100th episode of this very podcast. Very proud and very happy to present this episode and this next guest, who is Edward Tony Green, or T Money Green, or Tony. I call him Tony. Anyways, Tony is best known for his work with Death Row Records right during the G-Funk era, during the right in the middle of the shitstorm that was Death Row Records. So he came in a little after The Chronic, Dr. Dre's The Chronic dropped, and he became the musical director for Dr. Dre when they went to produce Doggy Style for Snoop Doggy Dogg, who is now Snoop Dogg, and weirdly has a cooking show with Martha Stewart. Awesome. Anyways, Tony has done so much work with so many artists. I mean, he's worked with George Clinton. He's Curtis Mayfield. He's worked with Tupac, Warren G, Regulators. That's his bass line on there. It's not his bass line, but he's playing bass on that song. He is a bass player. Jewel, he's worked with Ice Cube, Gangstar. Oh my God, there's a whole list. It's just incredible. And if he's not playing directly with the artist, his bass is being sampled for an artist. So it's awesome. And he was a great guest. He was very generous. And it's amazing that before he even got to Death Row Records, he had already a great career, 20 years with the Dramatics, who started out in Detroit. They were briefly signed on to Motown and Stax, so it has that vibe. And 20 years of doing that, and then he goes and has another great career at Death Row Records as the MD over there. So awesome conversation we had. He was super honest, and that's all you can ask from a guest. So we'll get to him in a second. I just want to address this 100th episode. I really appreciate the people who have been signed on since the beginning. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for emails. Thank you for just being you and listening. It's a cluttered environment of podcasts out there, and it's just amazing to me that I get just a little piece of your ear. So thank you so much, and I couldn't be prouder of this show and all the work that I've done with other artists, and hired gun or recording or everything I've done. It's not all me. It's not all mine. So I'm really happy that this podcast is completely me. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And it's been awesome. And the numbers are growing. And, this show's taken on so many changes from, I had a beautiful studio in San Diego, California with all the bells and whistles. And I've had 2 co-hosts and, special guest co-hosts and the comedians and business owners who've trudged into OB to sit in my studio and just to watch me make stupid dick jokes. I mean, it's amazing. So nothing but appreciation, and I can't wait for the next 100 episodes. So enough of me gushing. I just wanted to get that out just a little bit. And I'm super happy and super proud of this podcast, and I hope you guys continue to like it and love it as much as I do. So without any further ado, let's get over to T Money Green. So I'm here with Mr. T Money Green. He's well known for his work with the Dramatics, with Death Row Records, Snoop Dogg during the G-Funk era.
Yes.
During
During
Row,
the real days.
yeah, when Death Row was Death Row.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think Death Row exists anymore, does it?
Well, yeah, there was a Canadian company now, and I will be contacting them for some royalties. Well, they don't know who's who. They don't know who did what, but they bought the company.
Yeah.
So I think those companies appreciate when you pop up and let them know, hey, well, I did 12 of those songs. These, let them know what songs and stuff. I mean, because then they can at least put the music with a person that really existed doing that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you actually have to go, because they're not going to go out and find you.
No,
no one's going to
find them. Yeah, hell no. So you can't even expect them to find you. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, like we were just talking before we started rolling about, and the songs in the background, you probably can't hear it, but it's a Snoop Dogg song that is supposedly featuring George Clinton, but...
Yeah, it was obviously me singing and talking in the beginning. But it just go to show how, credits and stuff like that didn't really mean a lot to them. Yeah. I started showing them credits, and we started getting credits.
Wow.
But other than that, they didn't care. It'd just be, you do the session, get some money, and bounce.
And so when you were like at Death Row, when you came in, were they what they were? I mean, like, were they a big company? I came in
right after
yet?
Nothing But a G Thing. So
you came in right after the Chronic, right?
Yeah, right after the Chronic. Okay. So the thing is, that sold 3 million. I mean, so it was selling as I got with them.
Right.
It already had went platinum.
Okay, so they had a little success.
Oh yeah, no, that was a big success. I mean, that record was the hottest shit out right then.
Yeah, totally.
So when we came in fresh off the fucking streets of Detroit, we ran into a situation where we can, Dre let me play. He asked me to play. Warren turned me on to him.
You know what? Let's back up just a little bit, because I want to talk about that, because that's how I know about you.
Okay.
And then once I started looking into it, you see the Dramatics and your link to Motown and so you had an entire career.
Yeah, it's been 48 years.
A career that's still going, by the way, because you're still playing out.
Yeah, still playing,
you're still playing.
Still recording, still producing.
Yeah,
I won't stop.
So you're from Detroit?
Yeah, born and raised. And now, is there a lineage of music in your family? Was your house a musical? My stepfather is a hell of a jazz musician.
Oh, okay.
And he would rehearse at the house.
Okay.
And a lot of the great Jack McDuff, Spanky Wilson, all of the great jazz musicians would rehearse there.
Oh, wow.
Because my dad was built in the Bakers. Now, I don't know if you heard of Bakers.
No.
It's the oldest jazz club in the world, and it's here in Detroit.
Oh, really?
And so my dad, because he can read really good.
Oh, that helps.
So groups would come from New York, the jazz guys, if he plays sax, ain't no sense in bringing a whole band.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just come with your sax and then pick up the musicians when you get there.
Right.
Well, my dad was the musicians you would pick up.
Got it.
And he knew who to play. He knew who to bring in on piano, who to bring in on drums and shit like that, Okay. So I got a chance, Esther Phillips, to see some dynamic
Esther
people.
Phillips?
Yeah, it was in my basement, man. My dad used to be her musical director for a while.
Is she
he
from
said
here?
They used to know, but he said they used to have to wake her up with 2 motherfucking Coca-Colas and some other shit to just wake her up, because she would always be on a deep binge. She was heavy on the drugs.
Okay. So she was using.
Yeah, she was using heroin. Yeah. So just having that around in the basement, it influenced me, like just loving music. Yeah. However, I didn't get the itch until I went to a high school talent show.
Oh, okay.
And seeing somebody my age playing a popular song from the radio, they're just like, damn,
everybody screaming.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I can do
some
that. I can do that. Hell yeah, man.
Okay, so music just you've been around music since since you're.
I sang in the choir at church. I sang in the choir at school.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I always sang, so bass was the next thing.
And just so you know, I'm not being rude. I have questions on my phone. I'm not sending Facebook messages and shit.
I don't care. You can do whatever you want, man. I'm good.
Right on. So you grew up in the church, and so, I mean, because that's
they used to make you go to church when I'm my age. You gotta see, I just turned 61.
Oh, okay.
So when I went to church, the old school. Like back in my day, the neighbor can whoop your ass, then bring you home, and then you'd get a whooping from your people. You know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah, you can't do that
now.
now.
Nobody gives a fuck, and it's no family. It's nothing like that, bro.
No, I agree with you, man. There's a lot of
it's just open, like
yeah,
open for anything.
like nobody has real direction or ownership.
Nope.
A feeling of community, I feel like, is missing.
It's missing like a hell, man.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and that's what's so. I think that's what's so beneficial about like church and like growing up with a community built in, because there's still. I mean, like, because I played for a church for a little bit.
Okay.
It was a Baptist church. And I mean, that was boot camp for me, because like I didn't know shit. I mean, like I didn't realize how involved it is. I mean, just the chord changes and the type of chord. It was new to me then, like like for me, that was, and I only played for like 6 months, but like I grew as a musician, so I can't imagine just being inundated as a child.
Yeah, just in there, man.
Yeah,
all my brothers play.
Yeah.
We all play music.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's all because we got the same influence. It's just that my dad did jazz, and I said I was saving jazz for when I got 60. But shit, now I'm 61. I'm saving it for when I get 80.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm going to keep on G-funking it, bro.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with funk, man. So, is jazz just not really an interest for you to pursue, or
No.
Are you formally taught, or are you self-taught?
Self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah, well, my dad, I play upside down.
Oh, okay.
And when he caught me playing his bass upside down, he told me to put it down. You'll never play like this.
Oh.
And I had knew about 8 songs at that point.
You're like, I'm already playing like this.
Yeah, he was like, put my shit down. So at that point, it was just nothing he could really say to me.
Right, yeah. I'm going to do it like
I'm
this.
I'm going to do my shit.
Yeah.
He's my stepfather, too,
Mm-hmm.
So I started rebelling and doing it the way I wanted to do it. And before I knew it, I turned out to be one of the best. Yeah. And he's got a lot of respect for me now.
Oh, that's cool.
And he told me one day, wow, I'm so glad you didn't pay attention to me, and how he was really trying to protect me from the drugs that's in this industry.
Oh, yeah, totally, man.
And then with him coming up in the jazz era, it was a lot of heroin.
Yeah.
Charlie Parker, I don't care how good you were.
Right.
You could be on heroin easy, like fuck life.
Yeah.
But he saw that I wasn't a follower.
Yeah.
And that I knew what I wanted to do, and I wrote a lot of songs, and it's been really a blessed career.
Whoa, I mean, my
48
goodness.
years and I ain't stopped yet.
So
we got about 1,500 masters.
1,500? And that's all original compositions by you?
Yeah, original compositions by me or the situation by me, because I'm a record company.
Oh, okay.
So I produced a lot of records. So and I nurtured. So say you got a song and I bring it in and produce it and put the acts on it and stuff. Well, that's me and you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's a lot of those kind of compositions.
Right.
Because I'm not just like Prince was doing his own. Yeah. Prince played the bass, the guitar, the drums.
Right, yeah.
No, and I like the fact that I had to work with other people too.
Right.
That means I like to collaborate.
Yeah, man. I think that's collaboration is just.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like it's because you can go so far on your own. I mean, obviously Prince, but like still, I mean, there's the thing about Prince is like he has a lot of good songs, but he has a lot of songs that are like
suck too.
But that's just because he was
a lot of people won't say that, but I say it too.
Yeah, it's like
because he had some songs that really suck, but at the same time, that motherfucker got enough hit songs that I would go see him in concert and just have to go home and hit a note on my bass just to shake it off, man. He would be funky as hell, man.
For sure. Did you ever have a chance to see him or play with him or meet him or anything?
I didn't get a chance to meet him. Just like I said, the concerts was enough.
Yeah.
I've never been a guy who worried about meeting people.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. It's like never been like I don't really like running up to people and asking for autographs and shit like that. It always seems like an intrusion.
It is an intrusion. I know when people intrude on me. They don't give a fuck. They just do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you're sitting at dinner with your girl or something, and like somebody's like, "Mr. Green, Mr. Green, like, sign this, take this picture, do the Watusi."
You're like, I don't want to do shit.
Right, I'm eating here.
And then you act funny. So I always I usually address everybody.
That's awesome. I mean, like shit. Like your phone number is accessible.
Right.
And that's how I just called.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I wanted to have people able to reach me because it's always a story.
Yeah.
I got a book on the way.
Oh shit. Okay.
I got a book deal. We doing it. I mean, she's got 32,000 words written, and we ain't even got to death row yet. That's just all leading up out of the dramatics leading up to death row.
Wow. Okay, so let's get. Okay, so you pick up the bass, you do the work, you learn what you gotta learn, and then, tell me sort of how you got involved with, because I know you're young when you got picked up by the dramatics.
Yeah, 17.
You're 17.
Yeah, but I could play, and I learned their show. It started with learning their show first.
Okay.
And which they had like 21 songs in their show.
Okay.
And I learned their show, and then we go on tour, and I'm playing all of those songs night after night after night, same songs,
Yeah.
But and then you get better as it goes.
So how did you kind of meet the dramatic? Like,
well, I was playing in a nightclub here in Detroit. Young.
Right.
Used to be a lot of venues in Detroit.
All right.
At like 70, 80 venues. Bands would always, it'd be some hot bands in all of them.
Yeah, you could work.
Well, we was in one.
Okay.
And we played there every Thursday through Saturday.
Okay.
And one of the dramatics came in, and he used to come in to deal with the flirt with the waitress.
Why not?
And then he just started hearing me,
Yeah.
And then one day it came down to it. He knew I had a band, and their band was going on strike and shit. Like we gonna get the money we want before California.
Yeah.
By holding out.
Okay.
Kind of
okay.
shit.
Because they were about to go to California.
Yeah, so they was holding out.
Okay.
And then what happened was the dramatics was like, "Fuck y'all, we'll get a new band."
Yeah.
So they first came to me for my whole band to do it. And I was like, "Okay, cool, that'll be cool." But it started being hard for 9 people to learn the song.
Right.
And it came down to T, we just need you, man, because the rest of the band is acting better.
Oh, they
we just want to get rid of the bass player. Yeah, because he was the one starting all the shit.
Oh, he was the one who was rallying the troops. Okay, the troublemaker.
Yeah, he was the troublemaker.
The troublemaker.
Yeah.
And at that time, were the dramatics a big well-known name?
Fuck yeah. Okay. I went from playing for 200 and 300 people or 100 people to playing for 50,000 people.
Oh, my Jesus.
8,000 a night, on a regular club was 8,000.
Okay.
So they were already big when I got with them.
Okay.
Matter of fact, that's how they came to my mother and said, we want to take him on the road. He'll make $250 a night. $250 a week. He'll get Blue Cross Blue Shield
insurance.
Yeah, and we get unemployment.
Okay.
So after the tour was over,
yeah,
then we could sit in the unemployment line and collect a check.
What?
My mother was like, "Hell yeah, take him.
Get your ass out on the road."
So he could help pay this rent.
Yeah, and so you helped pay your parents' rent?
No, I paid it all since then. I mean, geez, my parents has been blessed to have a son to care as much as I have.
But you know what? I feel like if your parents deserve it, they deserve it. I mean, there's some bad parents.
Deserve is a funny word because they couldn't help me at all.
Yeah.
They couldn't buy me a bass.
But they were able to. You were able to. They grew you.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Even there, my mother and real father separated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, divorced.
Yeah.
So I automatically got a check monthly.
Oh, okay.
For that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it made where raising me was easy because I came with my own check. Yeah. So and I remember when I finally took it out of my mother's hands because I was like, look, that's my check. Yeah. When you start to get old enough and know, I want my whole check. No more of that splitting this money. Because I didn't have nothing, man. I wanted a bass. I wanted an amp. I wanted all the things other guys had, but I didn't have shit. And they never learned how to play like I learned how to play. So sometimes when you can get everything easy, you don't do shit to deserve it.
Oh, I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
So the fact that I didn't have shit is what gave me my drive and ambition.
Yeah.
To keep it going, man.
Yeah, because what the hell do you got to lose?
Right.
You don't got shit but your bass, your instrument.
That's it. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's it for real, man.
So you got, you know what? Actually, I don't know where I saw it, but just doing the research before I came up here, I heard a funny story about an embarrassing moment with the dramatics. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, there's a few embarrassing moments, but The one is, I crammed in 21 songs when it was time. Like I said, they came down and it turned out to be just me.
Right.
And I didn't want to quit my band, but I was like, fuck it. I guess it's just the time you get a break. I mean,
they had to understand.
if I feel fucked up about it,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, yeah, I'm out.
Right.
No, it was damn. I thought they was going to use all of us, and now
Right.
they're not.
Yeah.
And they just need me. So that was kind of fucked up. But at the same time, that's how breaks go. They might not include people that you think should have a break.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because you think a motherfucker should have a break don't necessarily mean that
Yeah.
they should have had a break.
Right. Right.
So I went on and did it. And one embarrassing moment was I learned those 21 songs kind of quick. And then when it finally was time to do a show, the very first show was in San Francisco
Oh, okay.
at this place called the Circle Star Theater.
Okay. Yeah. This is the story.
Yeah, okay. Right outside of San Mateo, really. And we rehearsed like a motherfucker, man. And I was good. And the one guy that I got really bonded with in the dramatics was like, "You doing good, T?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And just to see that, and I felt good. But we so at the rehearsal, everything was good, normal.
Right.
We kicked ass. And then so now it's the showtime. And you had to walk through the crowd to the middle of the stage because it was a theater and around.
Okay. Yeah. I get
Every
it.
seat is good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you march down to the middle of the theater. And then so now we doing the show and the dramatics finally come out. So the band come first.
Yeah.
And now we playing the fanfare for the dramatics to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the dramatics come walking down the aisle and they get on stage and I'm already kind of flirting with this girl right here, right? And then we on stage, the next thing I know, that girl ain't right there no more, man. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realize now that the stage is moving. It didn't move at rehearsal.
Yeah.
But I didn't know theaters and around that the stage is,
Right.
And I forgot, I just lost where I was at, man.
Well, then.
I didn't play. I stopped playing for at least 3 minutes.
Wow.
Because I couldn't figure out where to come back in at.
Right,
I got
right.
just everything was different now. A whole lot of people.
Yeah.
I just crammed that show together.
Right, because you went from 200 to
Yeah, I went from less than
I mean,
200 even,
to what was that show?
100 people to, that was an 8,000 seater.
That's
And,
intimidating.
and then the dramatics drew females, so, and I mean screaming, throwing panties on the stage, females.
That must have been a wonderful time.
It was. It very was. Yes, it was. A beautiful time to be exact.
So you guys, so you, how long were you with the Dramatics then?
18 and a half years.
18 and a half years. Okay.
Yeah.
And you wrote some songs for
I
them.
wrote a lot of songs for the Dramatics.
Okay.
The only gold album they got, I got it, and I wrote 4 songs on it. But I wrote a lot of songs for them later, throughout the career.
Now, were there just when you were learning the songs, were the songs particularly difficult, or were the songs pretty poppy, formatted type thing?
I like to play. See, I was always the band member who liked backing up the singers. Mm-hmm. A lot of band members hated singers. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, fuck them singers, man. But I liked the backing up singers. So when it came to playing for the Dramatics, it was pretty much easy because I knew my place was in the background of the
Right.
singer. So I would learn my ear was pretty good, and I picked up each song, So, and then I got better as it went on,
Yeah.
Because then you start to relaxing and realizing, because they knew I had talent
Right.
and they knew I could play, but it was like starting all over for a minute, learning their stuff
Right.
and learning how to play that vibe, because their stuff was pretty mellow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
real
a bunch
chill,
of babies was made on our shit.
which is wonderful.
Yeah,
which is a wonderful
A
thing.
bunch of babies too.
So with the Dramatics, you guys, because you guys got pretty huge. I mean, like there was you guys were doing big shows.
Yeah.
and,
Dramatics was huge, man. And it lasted a long time, but then the bottom dropped.
Okay, so
And the groups, then they start arguing and people leave.
yeah.
And it left a fucked up transition for a while.
And so when did you realize that it was starting to be over? Like, when did you start seeing not necessarily I need to quit or go, but when did you see it drop?
It went from maybe 4 shows in a weekend to 1 show a month.
Oh, okay. So you guys were just not getting booked. and stuff.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
they fucked it up. A lot of drugs fucked the Dramatics up.
Is what, if you don't mind, what kind of
Well,
drug?
cocaine
Cocaine.
was the choice of everybody's drug.
When
back
was
then.
so this was like 80s then?
Yeah, this
okay,
the
so
80s. Yeah,
80s
yeah,
cocaine was
going
up. Okay.
yeah, plenty cocaine. Today.
Plenty
This is This is the late 70s going
Yeah.
through the whole 80s.
Oh yeah, so that's like all that Colombian shit.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
coming
yeah,
up. Okay.
yeah. All the weed we had was the Acapulco Gold, the Colombian Red. You know,
Okay.
we had all the best weed back then. Now everything is green. I don't understand it. We already being GMO'd, if you ask me.
I agree, man, because some of that shit they put like all these crazy fertilizers in, and I mean it tastes good, but like it just
Yeah, but you know it could be some shit.
Yeah, you know that you're smoking like pesticides.
That
and,
was
like,
something like that,
yeah,
right? So
yeah, totally, man. I'm with
that's
you.
what kind of fucks it up. We're already being GMO'd. People was like, "Don't get GMO." They already.
Don't get GMO.
Yeah, it is GMO already.
So
genetically modified.
So when you went, so what was like the final straw that sort of was like, I'm out of here?
Well, we was just running up and down the highway smoking cocaine.
She,
One show a month. I'm like, we could get pulled over. I don't know why the van is not getting pulled over because, you know, with the cocaine smoking it, you got to spark a lighter.
Yeah.
Well, if you was driving behind us, you'll see the lighter spark here, and then over there, then back there, then over there. I don't know why we didn't get pulled over.
I was only because of my own past drug use am I this curious, but like, were you guys were freebasing or like?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like foil and shit.
No, we was with the little pipe, you know.
Oh,
because once you cook
you're
it
in
up,
pipe.
you know, once you cooked it up, you could,
Gotcha.
you know,
Yeah, totally.
it's in the rock form. You can just smoke it up.
Yeah.
And now the thing I wasn't doing was crack.
Oh, okay.
We did freebasing. You cooked our own
Yeah.
cocaine. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
fuck that, buying it from the corners.
Yeah, well, you don't know what's in that shit.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
That's how I'm like. I'd rather cook my own food
That's
than go
why I
out.
never got
dude.
strung out. You know, it's the chemicals that they put in it is what string people out.
Yeah,
When
kill
we
you.
freebasing, we cleaning all the impurities off.
Yeah,
You
hell
know
yeah.
what I mean?
For sure.
And then you smoking it. But, I mean, even there, it became a nuisance type of time, you know, because people not showing up for a show or,
Yeah.
you know, everybody come to town together for a show and then one is can't put the pipe down somewhere on the east side
Yeah, that's rough, man.
or somewhere on the west side. He done found, the west side of Chicago, he done found a house where he can sit and get high and forget all about the show.
All those crack houses.
Yeah, shit is fucked up.
Yes, it is. Okay, so what year was that?
That was coming up the end at 92.
Oh, okay. So you made a quick jump to death row then.
Well, what happened is I quit the Dramatics in 92.
Okay.
And then we went to California. We drove to California to start a new life, me and David Ruffin Jr.
Oh, the son of the Temptation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we call him D-Ruff.
D-Row.
So me and him hit the road and broke down in Arizona and got the car fixed and stumbled up and made it to California. Well, the first time I went out with him and this young lady, we ran into Warren G.
Oh,
and
okay.
Snoop and DOC.
Oh, okay.
They was at a club. And now I understand it. They dressing like me and you right now.
Yeah.
They ain't got the money yet.
Okay, this is
But they got a hit
before-
record.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but they got nothing but a G thing is banging.
Okay. Oh,
But you know, it take a minute to get money just because you got the hottest record.
Yeah,
don't mean
It
you
doesn't
got
mean
money.
you're rich right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might have got a few dollars to chill out,
Right.
you know.
So they
But,
were just.
yeah, they just like they hanging
Every
out at
day,
the club.
yeah.
Snoop got a little hoodie on, you know, and then so I met them. David was their age, and they knew his David Ruffin Jr.
Okay.
So
So he had weight.
They knew
'cause
who,
of his
you know.
name.
It was like,
He's-
oh, the son of a Temptation. Okay.
Right.
So he brought them over to meet me. So I met Snoop, DOC, and Warren G.
Okay.
And then Snoop and DOC went on back to where the dance floor was, and Warren stuck around.
Okay.
And Warren, being more of a guy into, you know, like a musician, he was like, yeah, man, David told me you play bass, huh? And I said, yeah, man, you know, I was with the Dramatics for a while. I can really play. And he said, man, you need to call my brother. He be needing bass all the time.
Okay.
And I was, you know, didn't know. I was like, who's your brother? And David Ruffin, who had been trying to teach me my little etiquette, you know.
Try to get
Tony,
you.
you know, Dr. Dre. And I'm like, oh, okay, Dr. Dre, yeah, I know. I said, I'm new to this, bro. I don't know nothing about hip hop, really.
Right. Well, you're coming from like R&B,
I'm
baby
coming from
making
the dramatics.
music.
Yeah.
Now
To bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. So it was fun.
Yeah.
And so then when he said, call my brother. So I called Dre, and we called him like 6 days in a row and without an answer. So I was like, fuck it, I ain't calling.
Did you leave a message? Did you have a message?
Yeah, I was like, hey, this is T Green calling. Warren G told me to call you.
Yeah.
You know, I play bass.
Right.
Fuck it. No answer. And then on the 8th day, the phone rang about 9 in the morning, and I answered it. And he was like, yeah, can I speak to T Green? And I said, yeah, this T Green. He was like, yeah, this is Dr. Dre. And I was like, hey, how you doing, Dr. Dre? And he said, you play bass? So I said, yeah, man. I'm here from Detroit. I play bass. And he was like, can you come down to the studio and let me hear you? And I was like, hell yeah, where is it at?
And now, were you familiar with what Dre was doing at the time?
No, but I'm a bass player, man. I was familiar with. Here's what happened. I went from not liking any rap to that Chronic album.
Yeah.
David Ruffin Jr., when he came around me, I had just quit the dramatics.
Okay.
So he would play that Chronic every day, and I'd be like, man, cut that bullshit off.
Yeah.
You know, I just quit the dramatics. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do here.
Right.
And I was serious. You know, I'm panicking, hoping I don't have to run back to the dramatics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because one of the guys was like, let him quit. He'll come crawling back. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
so that being in the back of my head,
yeah, you can't.
I just didn't want that to happen. So here we go, man. Me and David hit out there. So when we got to the studio with Dre, it's just funny because the young lady that let us use her car, because we drove to Detroit, in a beater.
Yeah.
And David was like, nah, fuck it, we'll take our car. And I was like, nah, she's right. Maybe we should take her car. So we took her car. She had a Benz 300E. When we pulled up, Dr. Dre had the same car, only convertible.
Okay. So
you know that made us look like we had some money.
Right. Like, yeah.
Even though we didn't have shit. Because if he would have asked me, he asked me too, like, so here he had nothing but a G thing playing. And he said, are you familiar with this? And see, like I said, David would play it so much. When we was driving to California, I got hooked on it. And I drove like 17 hours.
Yeah.
The first shift, I just let it stay in the cassette. It just flipped over and over. Yeah. And I started getting used to that. And I don't know why I was getting used to it. But there'd be bigger things happening for us that we don't know about.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So I had a crammed course, just like I crammed the dramatic show. Yeah. I crammed Dre stuff.
Yeah.
So by the time I meet him, which was maybe 2 months, maybe 5 weeks after being out there, so not even a long time.
That's pretty quick.
It was meant to happen like that, right? Sure. That's quick as hell.
Hell yeah.
So by the time I meet him and he got nothing but a G thing playing, and he said, you familiar with this? I said, yeah, but I ain't learned it yet. I said, I can learn it right quick. And he said, no, I want to hear what you would have played. Man, I played so many bass lines. That motherfucker was like, damn, stop. He was like, I got to have you right now. How much? And I had been so broke, I was about to say, look, $50 every time we can get together.
Right.
If he would have frowned up, I'd have been 40. He'd have been frowning because I'm going low.
Talking me down.
Yeah, he'll be frowning because I'm too low. Yeah. And I would be going lower because I'm thinking his is too high.
Right.
I'd be like 30, $20, no less than 10, motherfucker.
Just buy me a dinner. Buy me dinner.
Get lunch every day. Instead, he was like, shit, I can start you off for $700 a week.
Hell yeah.
First time I ever shut up and didn't try to sell myself. And I was like, $700 a week to do what? He said, just make up bass lines to my beats. And we made a bunch of bass lines to his beats, man.
Hell yeah.
A lot of, the whole, that G-Funk era, man, I'm claiming it.
Hell yeah.
Because the Chronic was one thing, but I took Snoop's album, all R&B.
Yeah.
Snoop's album was way bigger than the Chronic, you know.
Yeah, well, that's so.
the Chronic sold 3 million, Snoop was like 7 million.
It was, it's still, it's a classic.
Right.
That is, like, all that shit's a classic. Yeah, it is. So, I was just curious. So, like, you worked your way in there and you started getting familiar with everybody. And, because a lot of Dre, a lot of Snoop, a lot of those songs are samples. And I was confused because how much of the sample are they taking, and how much are you guys playing? Like that's what I'm not. I was.
Well, we was playing for Snoop's. Is more no samples.
Okay, it was
It's more playing.
But you were playing other songs though, right? Isn't there like at least like you're playing other songs that he's rapping over it, like already songs that were established?
Well, maybe it might have been a couple of them, and we playing along with it,
right?
To add our flavor to make it different. But for the most part, all of his stuff was original.
Okay.
Yeah. Snoop's album was more original.
Okay.
Dre's had all kind of samples.
Right. He's all
that Death Row. I mean, all of that George Clinton samples.
George Clinton, yeah.
All of that. So Snoop's, no, man. I brought Dre. I introduced Dre to George Clinton.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I had told Dre when I first met him that I had wrote songs with George Clinton and everything. And he was like, oh, yeah. So finally one day I came in and he was at the board looking all stupid. And I was like, what's up, man? He was like, didn't you say you know George? I said, man, I told you George is like my dad, man.
Yeah.
He told me, he's in the other studio. Can you get him to come in here?
Hell yeah.
And I was like, that ain't shit, man. I went down there, and when I peeked into the studio, George turned around and he saw me. He was like, I knew somebody had permission to be funking like that. So I didn't have permission since the 70s. I did a song with George in 78.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what song was that?
It was called One of Those Funky Things on the Motor Booty Affair album.
Okay.
The thing is that song has been sampled by all of the rappers.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's a heavily sampled song, right?
Doo-doo, dun, 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 dun. EPMD did it. The Rough Riders sampled it. The Lox sampled it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a bunch of people sampled it.
And how much did you get on the back
Well,
end?
we got it's always some royalties, man.
Nice.
You know,
as long as you're getting your piece.
well, you get it. Hey, I could have got a bigger piece. But just getting a piece is better than no piece.
Agreed.
And the thing is, at least out of the whole deal, I got pretty known. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got names.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So did you end up winning Grammys off of?
Well,
any of those?
we did the Let Me Ride was on the Chronic. But when I got with him, we had just finished the new exciting Let Me Ride remix.
Okay.
That pushed it on over to a Grammy status.
Oh, okay, cool.
Back then you would do a remix to help boost the record right quick.
Yeah.
So we did that, and it got a Grammy for Let Me Ride.
Okay.
So that's my same Grammy.
So kind of going back to the sample thing, because specifically for, let's say, Warren G's song, come on, it just slipped my mind.
Like Regulator.
Thank you. So for that song in particular, which was a huge smash hit, and that was a Michael McDonald song. Now, did you guys re-record the parts, or were you guys actually taking samples from the original recording?
Well, we redid it.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
Them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that way, what happens is when you repay it, you don't have to pay the amount of money that you have to pay if you use the record.
If you just use the sample itself.
If you use the record, you got to pay everybody that was on that record.
Yeah.
If you redo it, then you just got to pay the writer.
Well, there you go. That's some good advice right there.
Yeah.
Just re-record it.
Yeah, just
re-record that son of a bitch. Okay. So you're on all these like super smash hits, and as Death Row's kind of growing, it's no secret that there was violence involved in.
Plenty violence. There's all kind of people dying around me.
I'm now how close to all of that were you, or
right there?
You were right there, so you saw it.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, put it like this: it would be a different security guard every week, and I'd be like, "Damn, what happened to the guy? Oh man, he got smoked last night." I'd be like, "Damn, everybody getting smoked."
Gee, wow, that's intense.
That close. Yeah.
So, how did you feel about that?
I seen beat downs. Well, and my ex-wife, I had brought my ex-wife onto Death Row, and she got beat up. She was a photographer.
Shit.
Yeah. She got beat up, but she was talking too fucking much. And then she said they really wanted to beat me up, but they got her. I'm like, bitch, no, they didn't. They knew my address.
So that's why she's your ex-wife. I take it. She runs.
And look, when they was like wondering if I was going to retaliate, I told them y'all gave her the ass kicking I always wanted to give her.
Well, hey, at least you didn't kick her ass.
Yeah, right.
I mean, at least you're
but they did
gentleman.
it for me. That was the ass kicking I always wanted to give her.
Yeah.
So, but then they was just insisting on know I wanted to retaliate. So it got to pretty hairy, scary times with me. I'm carrying a pistol.
Oh, okay.
The people with me is carrying a pistol.
Wow.
And never knew what was going to jump off. And then I said, look, it's just time to go. So in 1995, I decided to go back home because I could do a lot of shit at home. Plus, I had notoriety out of this world.
Right.
Because all I brought was Detroit musicians out to death row.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm loved like a motherfucker at home.
Right. You're the
I'm coming home.
hero.
I'm hearing my bass, Indo Snow, everything riding up and down the street.
Hell yeah.
So and now I'm really to try to give breaks to, people that might never ever got a chance.
Yeah.
So I allowed them, and I had the studio locked down. If you could rap, get on the mic. I'm bringing out the tracks.
Yeah.
And it's still my shit. But if we do something, it's yours too.
Right. Your name is
yeah.
down there. So your departure from death row was more of a like get out
with your life. Yeah.
And when did Dre leave?
Right after that.
Right after that.
And see what it was, Dre laid us off because I didn't realize Dre was getting slapped around a little bit.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Yeah,
wow.
like Suge going out to the house, taking the reels and stuff like that. So when he let us go, I realized later that it was for our safety. And then they told me to go do Warren.
Oh.
So at that point, I did all the Warren shit from 95 to like 98.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working directly with him.
Yeah.
And were you actually? I'm curious. Were you like part of the house band when they toured?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. If you can find me on Saturday Night Live, you can find me on the Billboard Music Awards. You can find all that on MTV.
How was Saturday Night Live the experience?
Man, it was the bomb, man. And we, you got 2 takes you can take, but we aced that shit on the first take, man.
Hell yeah.
And that shit was dope, man. You can find it now on Saturday Night Live. Snoop Dogg, 1994. We did Gin and Juice, and we did Lottie Dottie.
Okay. We likes the party.
And the band, and then you could tell it's the same musicians because it sounded exactly like the record.
Okay, and it is the same musician.
Exact same
and
musician.
it's your Detroit players.
Yeah, it's all my Detroit people. Yeah.
So I like that. I like that Detroit had such an influence.
Yeah, man, and that's why that's what Detroit saved Dre's ass again too, because when it started going down for him after that. You remember he did it at Dre Presents the Aftermath?
Right.
Well, that album was a flop.
It wasn't very good. Yeah.
And then they started pulling the gold records off the walls, except for then Jimmy Iovine gave him that cassette that was Eminem.
And brought him up.
Once again, Detroit again.
Detroit. Oh yeah, Eminem. Did you see that documentary that they just put out with Dre and Jimmy Iovine?
Yeah, and I was kind of pissed about it.
Because you weren't in it?
Well, here's what I am in it.
Are you in it?
When they played the music.
Oh yeah, you're in it.
Okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
Okay. So
my bad.
Yeah. And that's where I'm pissed at, because you can get this guy all the credit of producing that shit, but he ain't played not one note. Can you give the musicians a little credit? Can you say, Dre, damn, you played a hell of a bass line on Gin and Juice. How did you do that? He'd have been like, oh, no, I didn't play bass. That was Tony Green.
And and Dre, he can play a little bit, right? No, he can't play at all?
He make them drum beats, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's a motherfucker. Yeah. He know how to make a dance beat. He know how to make you dance.
Right.
But after that, it's T Green, what you hear. He ain't never said, hey, can you play doop-de-doop-de-doop? No, he was like, what you hear, man? Then I'm like, vroom.
Right.
Because if you ask me to play doop-de-doop-de-doop, you missing out on a bunch.
You're not getting the full experience.
Getting what I might want to give you.
Okay. So, speaking of Eminem, have you seen that new that video he just released, smashing Trump's head into a wall?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I mean, he's Eminem is Eminem, man. He's good. He's a motherfucker, but I didn't think that was as best shit as I seen him do, man.
No, he's way better than that.
Yeah, that was kind of that wasn't really.
I felt the same way. I mean, just on the flow, because the message was there.
Almost like he was. It's almost like, well, you know what happens. You get too rich, you can't do this shit no more.
It just stops. Yeah,
that motherfucker's 2 albums diamond.
Yeah, he's not thirsty anymore. He's not. Yeah, he's not.
His baby is rich. His daughter, little Haley.
Right, Haley's doing fine.
Yeah,
he's done.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it's hard because I saw him kind of seem like he was struggling with it a little.
Yeah, it almost was like a freestyle. I think it was a freestyle.
It was a freestyle, but even then,
Right.
he used to be a lot smoother freestyle.
Yeah, I've seen. When
I
he
was in
young.
the 8 Mile movie.
Were you?
Yeah.
Musically or personally?
No, as a person.
Oh,
as
nice.
an extra.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to see what it was like to do an extra.
Oh, okay.
And then they took I had a whole stable of rappers.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, well, we can use your other artists if you want to bring them. And I was like, damn, man, all of us can get a check.
Yeah.
A little check and
Hell
be
yeah.
there. And one of my rappers actually rapped against Eminem in a battle.
Oh.
In one of the battles that didn't make the movie,
Oh, okay.
but it made the DVD.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's the unseen battles.
And who's that?
And his name was W.S.E.G.
W.S.E.G?
Yeah.
He's not rapping anymore or what?
Yeah, he's still rapping.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's still rapping, but he signs to, here I have been taking care of this guy. As long as I'm spending my money, it's okay. Now he gets an opportunity, and instead he just took the contract and signed it right quick. And then I was like, Wizard, what happened? He's like, well, I read it. I'm like, Wizard, you can't even fucking read. I read it. How you gonna just read a 4-page contract on the spot and sign it? And what he did, he signed his rights away. Whereas other people still getting paid.
Right.
He took a one-time fee.
Oh, shit. So he's not even getting anything off the back end or any, okay. Damn, that's rough. But that's what happens when you just
When you
jump
just
into
say fuck people that had you going. I could have been like, let's get this to the lawyer.
Yeah.
Make sure it's straight. And yeah, I'm gonna cut my little piece in it because I'm the reason why you even in this bitch.
Right. So
he was the one that didn't want to show up. All the other guys was like, oh, T, hell yeah.
Well,
He didn't want to do it. I told him, look, I ain't paying that motherfucking next month's rent if your ass don't show up.
And so he showed up. And
So I got the biggest part.
damn, man, that's have you had that happen in the past? Other than that, like where you kind of build an artist, you kind of like
All the time, bro.
really that's
That's
how it goes.
especially with rappers
yeah
because they always feel like you ain't doing enough.
yeah
You know, and then you get a couple loyal ones, but for the most part, there's no loyalty in it, and you don't really care. I just do the music we did together. It's still my music.
yeah.
I just take your fucking voice off and put another rapper on there.
Throw someone else.
Yeah,
on that
music is
motherfucker.
recyclable.
Right. So when you're starting on like a beat or a song, where do you usually start? I mean,
Well, it starts with the bass for me.
you always start with the bass.
Always. That's all I play.
Yeah.
So when I pick up my bass and I make up a groove right quick, then it's easy to put a drum beat to that.
Yeah.
But a drum beat is just a drum beat. Now, when I put a bass on it, now it's a song.
Yeah, I agree with
Because there's
that.
no melody until I put a bass on
Right,
it. It's just
right.
a drum beat. So Dre, doing all that, he was making some good drum beats, but, he didn't make up the motherfucking bass lines or the guitars or
Right,
the
right.
keyboards,
Okay.
So we got a thing called Omitted. We the omitted ones. And we're going to do a documentary. And it's going to show, like, the credit and all the songs played. And it's like, why these guys don't ever get mentioned?
Right. Well,
I mean, Dre was cool with us all. I think what happens is you in the limelight, basking in it all by yourself, and you don't think about nobody else.
yeah, it kind of just slips through the cracks of the bright lights and pretty girls.
Right. And $1 billion deals.
And $1 billion deals.
He ain't the same Dre when I met him.
No, sir.
He was basically kind of dressed. He wasn't no fancy outfits, no nothing. He didn't really have shit yet.
Yeah.
But he had a hot record out.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a bunch of records before that because that whole NWA. See, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
All I know is I was with a guy that was pretty normal.
Yeah.
He didn't have big flashy diamonds on or nothing. And then one day, all of a sudden, he had diamonds on and shit. I was like, the little royalties came in, Dre.
It happened.
Yeah.
So were you doing pretty good during the death row? Like, I
Doing
mean,
great, yeah. It was a living. I was able to take care and send money home and live good, dress nice, eat good.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I could have did more, man, but Suge always put a stop to me doing anything huge. It's like he ain't from L.A., he from Detroit. And my thing was this. I brought George Clinton, the Dramatics,
Yeah.
all of the musicians that made that shit pop for Snoop. Damn, that ain't enough to
Yeah, that's
let me get a little piece.
That's so weird. Like, especially because I knew about you because of just shout outs. Because it's not like you have a lot of credits under the song. Like when you're looking at a song, but you are like shouted out and things. So I remember as a kid just reading the thanks to T Money Green or And I had no idea what you even did.
Yeah.
And then once you get older and you start looking into shit and you start
hearing it.
Yeah, because you nerd out when you're a musician. Like you want to know everything about an artist and stuff. So that's how I kind of.
And I appreciate people for wanting to know too, because.
Well,
like
I think it's
said,
important.
Otherwise, you just get the Dre story.
Right.
There's a million stories that I have.
Right.
That Dre don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same story. Like I would be reminding him, like Dre, you remember that time? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I know he would probably enjoy that too, man. I'm just trying to see why people don't, maybe reach back out and say hello.
Right.
I think it'll happen. But like I said, even if it didn't, we did a lot of music together.
Right, and nothing's gonna take that away.
You can't scratch me off the record.
No, you certainly cannot.
That's my
that's
slogan.
That's history, man.
Yeah.
That's history.
You can't scratch me off the record.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, that's important that people know what's all involved, because it's not just one person,
right?
Doing all the work.
Right.
It's, there's an entire team behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why I tend to. When I talk to people, I tend to gravitate towards the backing bands, because I feel like that's where a lot of the work's being done,
we're the ones really working.
Exactly.
We're the ones doing the work,
Because I'm not a front person either. I'm a back, I play keys or guitar, like I'm in the background. Now, I'm fine with that.
Right.
But like when I work on studio sessions, or if I'm doing something, like I do want that credit, because I think I
end up starting to get the credit on a lot of the stuff, but then it's still a lot that I didn't.
So in regards to credit, did you have to actually go and start like pressing, like start with lawyers and shit, or
no?
Or
we just
were they pretty...
I was like, damn, Dre, I'm gonna send this in with the credits, man. And he was like, oh, okay, T. They just didn't know nothing about it at first.
Okay, so they just were. It was oblivious.
Yeah, it wasn't no big deal. Like,
it's like, okay, go ahead.
Right.
Go get yours.
When I had him, when I told him I did the dramatics, he would play the dramatics all the time. And I didn't want to tell him I was with them, because I didn't want him thinking I was old. But that was his favorite group. And he would always get out the car and say, you don't know nothing about this, T. Green. That's what he would always say.
You don't know it.
Yeah, and I just would say, all right. Well,
like, who's playing bass out there right now?
And one day he said that shit on one of my songs he pulled up playing. And I was like, hold on, Snoop, where the cover at, man? You got the cover? And he said, yeah, and I showed him the credit.
Nice.
And it said R. Banks, R. Johnson, T. Green. And he was like, this is you, T. Green? I said, yeah, man. He said, you could call the dramatics? I said, I can call the dramatics right now.
That's dope.
The rest was history.
Yeah,
and we did that Doggy Dog World.
Doggy Dog World.
So I'm like, to me, all of the One to Kill a Brother should have been over. It was obvious I was a team player.
Yeah.
I would never sneaking and doing nothing.
Right.
But motherfuckers started blaming people. Like Daz. I heard him on a couple interviews say, yeah, man, I would substitute reels, because Suge wasn't paying, so he would substitute reels and take his reel with Tupac home.
Oh.
And he said that in the interview. Now, my thing is a few times they said it was missing reels and wanted to kill me for it. I'm like, I didn't have none of it, because I had some reels.
Yeah.
But I had my own fucking reels. I've been in the shit. Yeah. See, the thing is, when I got with Death Row, I didn't tell them that I had gold records and shit already.
Oh, okay.
So I came in humble, needing a job.
Right.
And out of it grew. I mean, me and Dre hit it off. We taking pictures. We on MTV Live. We on, Fab Five Freddy is here, with Yo MTV Raps.
Yo MTV Raps.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm an old guy. And then I could cook on the grill. And I really can't cook, but none of them could cook. So the little bit I could cook was way better. So I was just be grilling it, and it was really, really enjoying, life. But then it was always like, so I had a group, some twin girls, and another guy named Lord G that I put on the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Okay.
But Dre gave us permission to use, because back then Death Row might have 6 studios booked and nobody in but 2 of them. You know what I mean? Just wasted money.
Right. That's a huge.
So Dre was like, well, yeah, just go ahead and take that studio over there, Skip Sailors, and let's see what they sound like, T. Okay. So I had permission to cut songs on these people.
Oh, that's dope.
And let Dre hear them. And then if he wasn't interested, he wasn't interested.
Right.
But it turned out we were doing something for Arsenio Hall a rehearsal.
Uh-huh.
And I was rehearsing the band on stage because we're getting ready to do Arsenio.
Yeah.
And Arsenio's people are coming in to see what the show is going to be like.
Yeah.
So I'm rehearsing like a motherfucker. And then I see people coming in. I see Suge and them come through the door looking at me like I seen him look at people that later be broke in half.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard playing bass when you had a shit all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the song had to end, even though I didn't want it to.
Right.
I wanted to do the disco version, like 15 minutes. I had to end the song, and then I tried to start a new song, and they was like, T Green, come here, man, Suge want to holler at you. I was like, yeah, okay. So, nervous and a motherfucker. So I walked in. He was like, so what them bitches doing up here at this rehearsal? And I was like, oh, that's my artist, man. I ain't got them back here with the rehearsal. I got them sitting up front. He was like, yeah, but they say you taking them to Arista. I said, well, that's because my friend got a label at Arista, and he's going to give me a little deal with them, and because they ain't nowhere near good enough to be on Death Row.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, but they done been in Death Row studio. I said, well, Dre told me I could use to see what they sound like. He was like, well, how am I going to get my money back for that?
Oh, okay.
Just to make some shit.
Yeah.
Then him and the motherfucking security that looked like he just would love to stomp you in the ground.
Ugh. Yeah.
So I'm like, man, listen, bro. They wasn't shit, and I wasn't thinking about bringing them to Death Row. And he was like, well, how am I going to get my money back for the time that was and at the time I had this gold bracelet on that I finally started being able to buy some jewelry because I'm with the hottest shit on earth right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm playing bass like a motherfucking singing on a bunch of shit.
Hell yeah.
And I'm feeling like, damn, I'm doing what I should do to earn my shit. His motherfucking bodyguard snatched the bracelet off.
Damn.
And I was like, damn, Suge, I got this bracelet from being able to work with y'all, man. I said, this is something exciting. Means the world to me with this shit, man.
Yeah.
He was like, look, any act you got that you want to do something with, you bring them to me and first before you see anybody. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then he was like, if you need some money, you want that extra money, you can come to the office on Thursday and I'll give it to you, or Friday.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, man, that's the bomb. I was going to give me like $25,000,
Yeah.
Because what happens, you make money, but you still start getting behind because you're doing more things with the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got
it's not enough.
Marketing.
Yeah, it's not enough now because you promoting yourself by looking good.
Yeah.
Or driving decent. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So, I was like, and then I was like, but my bracelet. And then Suge said, oh, yeah, give him his bracelet back, man. Said it to the guy, right?
Yeah.
And the guy was like, fuck that nigga. And I knew right then they was going to try to put me in a cat and mouse game. Well, Suge said, give it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck that bracelet, bro. I was like, damn, I bought it because I thought, that it was that time that I could reward myself with some shit because I'm doing all of this shit around here.
Right.
So the guy just left with the bracelet. I bought 2 more bracelets after that. But they couldn't. I know they wanted to beat me up, like just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Just for, to keep a nigga in check type of thing.
Yeah.
They didn't want to beat your ass, but because Arsenio Hall was there with about 20 white people.
Yeah.
Because his show was all basically, all his directors and agents and all of that is all there, and they all white.
Yeah.
So it would have been kind of fucked up to bring your band leader in fucked up.
Yeah.
Saying he failed.
Jesus.
Be like, what happened to you, T Green? I failed.
Like a beaten woman.
Yeah, you beat the shit out.
Oh my
failed.
I ran into a door.
They be like, well, damn, the way you beat up, you must have fell down steps.
Right.
You be like, no, I just fell right here.
Fell off a house.
Right. Yeah, where'd you fall off of? Somebody's knuckles.
Right on.
So yeah, it was a little rough. It was a little scary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was able to get out of there unscathed, still make a mark.
Yeah.
And open the door for me on a bunch of shit because people know
Right.
that's me that did it. And I came back still putting out records of my own.
So you
Nothing
can't.
stopped.
So you just were like, I'm done with LA. I can't take it.
Yeah, let me go home.
You didn't want to be there anymore.
Well,
You just wanted to
no,
go.
I still, because I was sneaking there because I was still doing all the Warren.
Oh, okay.
Even after, because I told you I stopped Death Row in '95.
Yeah.
But I did from '95 to '98 with Warren.
Oh yeah.
And we went overseas a couple times.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
any gig he had, I played. But I had protection with Warren
Oh, okay.
because his uncle was a bad motherfucker, and he wasn't letting none of us get beat up.
Oh, right on.
And so I was, and it came close.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we was doing the Billboard Music Awards, right? Warren G and Nate Dogg.
Okay.
Well, Nate Dogg was with Death Row. Warren G was with Def Jam.
Oh, okay. Cause you.
So now it's a beef, like, so you can hear all down the hall, like, pushing and shoving. I'm like, oh, shit, they gonna get to the room.
Yeah.
Suge, them gonna get me.
Shit.
But before you know it, we on the stage, and I'm like, damn, well, I can't get got in front of these 80,000 people.
Right.
So once again, I wanted the song to be long as hell. But yeah, I was pretty much protected. And I mean, I just couldn't understand why, want to fuck with me. And I think it was just because it was a scapegoat.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of friends too.
Yeah.
I could have called in people and got some people fucked up and all of that too.
Right.
I wasn't just, like I said, I had been in this shit. I had all kind of friends that appreciate where I came from high school.
Yeah.
That would do something for a motherfucker,
Yeah, for
just
sure.
because it's like, damn, what? That's T from the hood, 7 Mile, nigga. That's my nigga. You got friends like that.
Right.
But I wasn't even trying to, deal with that whole vibe. I just wanted to make music. I knew about drugs and music. I didn't know about violence and music.
Yeah, well, because, like, I was actually going to ask you because I know, like, just seeing, like, all the documentaries of all the older acts who were, like, especially doing the chitlin circuit,
Right.
that, like, in the early days of Motown even, that everybody carried pistols.
Right.
And so I was actually going to ask you, but I guess I just forgot. But that wasn't the vibe when you joined the Dramatics, right? Like that era was over.
Yeah, I mean,
I know the chillin' circuit was over, but I'm saying like,
well, they got in a couple fights with a couple promoters, but nothing like,
right, not pulling guns.
yeah,
and
nah.
stuff.
Well, it might have been a gun pull, but
He's like, baby, a gun.
yeah, it might have been, but not on no regular basis though.
Right.
And not to shoot.
Yeah.
These kids shoot you now.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
A promoter might be like, "Get back, motherfucker!"
Right.
And don't shoot you, but just even pull the gun.
Yeah.
Now you gonna leave,
Yeah. Well, so I was curious about Tupac. It was like, because I know you have credits for Tupac. What songs did you do with Tupac?
I couldn't really even tell you other than California Love.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's like the
well,
song.
here's what it was. It wasn't Tupac's at first. It was just a song we did with Dre.
Uh-huh.
It was gonna be another one of them Snoop possibilities.
Got you.
But so I played the shit on it, but by the time he redid it, he got my bass thinned out and got different sound, But
Yeah.
I'm still on it though. But I'm on several songs because people tell me I'm on them, and then I hear them, and people know my vibe, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like I say, Motown. When you hear Motown, you know that bass player.
Right.
Well, when you hear hip hop. And you hear that bass, that particular one bass
Right.
that's smooth,
For sure.
playing some shit, then you
That
be like,
laid
man, I bet
back-
you that's T Green.
It's funny. It's the West Coast vibe that
But
was
it's
built in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, the West Coast vibe is, and the beat goes on. That's what the West Coast is.
So did you ever meet Tupac or ever hang out with Tupac at all?
No. He came, I had made my exit
Okay, yeah.
right before that.
Okay.
But I was hating him. I was hating on him real bad until I seen the movie.
Oh, the movie that just came out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was always like, man, fuck, he wouldn't have had shit if he didn't come over here, and
Yeah.
he wasn't shit until he blew up on Death Row. But then I see the movie and see he had 2 platinum albums already
Right.
coming into Death Row.
Right.
And, I just had a lot more respect for him. I was just blind and dumb to what his
Yeah.
thing. I just didn't like the attitude. But once I seen that if you got to take care of a crackhead mama, that might give you a reason to have a fucked up attitude.
Right. Yeah, especially coming
So I
from
stopped
a
hating after that point.
Yeah.
But my mama just spoiled. So if she was a crackhead too, I'd be really fucked up.
Right. Yeah. So when you got back into Detroit, your hometown hero, and you've just been here since
Yeah. But I still
mid-nineties?
try. I've been, I go to California. I sneak into Cali.
Yeah.
And it ain't, when I say sneak in, it's just that I don't make a lot of noise. I
Yeah.
go and play sessions
Yeah.
and put bass on for people all the time. No,
Oh,
no
that's
big deal.
dope.
Yeah.
Do you?
Cali is like home for me. I mean, I know it like the back of my hand. So
That's
I just
dope.
get off the plane, get a car, zoom on where I gotta go,
Okay.
put my shit on,
So
hang
so
out.
you're still a world traveler.
Oh yeah,
You just
yeah.
called Detroit
I just
your home
stopped
base.
traveling a lot because I
Yeah.
traveled so much,
Right.
and now I just don't really trust it. I just don't trust the world. I mean,
No,
look what happened. You go to a concert in France and blow up.
Fucking
don't-
Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
Yeah.
I figure this, bro. From 17 to 50, I traveled.
That's enough, right?
That's enough.
That's
man.
enough. you did your time.
That's like sex, man. From 17 to 50, it's like
Right.
3 kids later, you were like, man, there's nothing left. What the fuck?
Dry.
Sex for what?
Right. Right. So you've been so you're so how since you've been back to Detroit, how have you seen the music scene here change? Because I know that at certain times Detroit's been on top of everything, and then a lot. I mean, because when I was coming up in Toledo, I would come to Detroit like I never looked forward to playing Detroit.
Yeah.
But that was like
Right.
early 2000s.
Right.
So I don't really know it like.
Well, Detroit is definitely a new Detroit now.
Yeah. Well.
Whereas for a minute it was a fucking ghost town.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to fuck around here. You
Yeah.
know? I've always still found talent even in the worst of times in this motherfucker.
Well, that's when you find the best talent, don't you
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
In the most downtrodden
Yeah,
times,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
best talent emerges.
Yeah. And then, I feel bad because I'm like, man, you should have got a break. I look at some people and be like, man, they should have got a break.
Yeah.
But who's to say who should have got a break?
Right. Yeah. It's like it's so hard to tell what works and what doesn't.
Right.
You can just go by. I like you. I think you're good. Let's try something.
Right. Yeah. So out of that Death Row shit, I got a chance to put bass on some shit for Ice Cube,
Oh, okay.
DJ Quick.
All right.
Bone
I saw
Thugs
Bone.
and Harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the producer, his name was Blunt. He
Okay.
produced a few songs on Lazy Bones and the
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, my bass is out there.
Yeah. You're getting around.
Yeah.
And so, are you still working with like the more well-known acts? I mean, is you still like George Clinton or something?
Well, I probably could, but George ain't really cut nothing that's,
Yeah.
his cutting days is over.
Yeah, he's just doing
Yeah,
him.
I mean, he might as well just keep We Want the Funk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You cut a record, ain't nobody gonna buy it.
Yeah, and that's actually another thing I was going to ask you. How did you what was when everything kind of switched over to the digital age and record sales weren't really there anymore?
Right.
Were you directly affected, or did you feel that?
Oh
Or-
yeah, for sure. For sure. But luckily I was with ASCAP and they jumped on shit early.
Yeah.
But I'm still affected by it. I know I've probably been cheated out of a couple $1 million easy.
Well, I mean, someone could stream Gin and Juice fucking a billion times, and
I
you
know,
get
right?
what, like 25 cents
yeah,
for that?
right. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Which is crazy, and there's a lot of people who say that the way it's set up now, it makes it easier for the up and coming acts, but for people who are established or
Yeah, it's
people who are
bullshitting
living
us.
off of royalties,
yeah, it's fucking
even
us. Yeah.
yeah, like especially from the old
Right.
the old way of
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
business.
yeah.
What I'm trying to think of how to form this question, and I'm just gonna skip it because I don't know how to
Okay.
ask it. What was it, a dramatic shift? Did you notice like a dramatic shift when with the checks and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because
And you're still receiving checks from
you
all
still
those
get stuff.
songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the things is they dwindle down.
Uh-huh.
Or you might get lucky and all of a sudden one then spike to 500 or maybe $1,000.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you can't really live off of it.
Oh, okay. So,
But I've learned how not to need nothing.
mhm.
I got everything I need.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't need nothing else, then
Right.
I can float amongst my means.
Yeah.
And I got a hot ass band and we play,
Yeah.
and we do some shows.
How often do you work around town?
We show up a lot of the festivals and shit downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, when I come in, I'm coming in to kick ass. They know who I am. They be scared when I come in because I be mad. that they don't use us more, and then I really kick ass.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a way to see a guy that really done some shit. So yeah.
Who's a act that you're working with right now that you're really excited about?
I got 6 acts that's coming out.
Okay.
Be Def is one. Be Def is a dope ass MC from back in the day. I think like Scarface and all them stole his shit.
Oh,
stole his
he's
style.
a Detroit.
Yeah, and he's a motherfucker. I got a dope album on him. These 2 kids from Buffalo, Fire and Ice and King Richie Rich.
From Buffalo, New York?
They're from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay.
I had their dad back in the day, and they rapping, and I was like, I had to help them because they dope as hell, man.
Yeah.
So I got them, Be Def. I got my band Roadwork. I'm dropping a song from that.
Okay.
And we dropping songs from who else we dropping? Davis.
King Richie Rich, Fire and Ice, Dope Rhyme Villains.
Oh, Dope Rhyme Villains.
Uh-huh.
Now that's really the radio show I was just at.
Uh-huh.
Dope. The guy who owns that, I didn't even know he rapped. One day he was rapping, and I was like, "Damn, you can rap!" So together we I produced a dope ass project on him.
Uh-huh.
And the music sound great, man. I mean, it's some big ass music, man.
Right.
I come in here and be blasting shit out. I got some dope music, man.
Yeah, and so like, and you said you got 1,500 songs.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting on that, just waiting to sort of like release it with artists.
We've been releasing a lot of stuff quietly and slowly, but all it takes is one song to make all of them a hit.
Hell yeah.
So you just spread them out a little bit here, a little bit there.
Uh-huh.
And stay famous. As long as I stay current,
Yeah.
I'm always winning the Detroit Music Awards. That's those.
I see that.
Yeah, and and it's kind of hard to win those because it's thick competition.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's nice. The event is red carpet,
oh, okay.
and we show up sharp as fuck.
Hey, hell
You
yeah,
got
man.
to, you know.
Hell yeah, like
I be sharp as hell.
dress to impress.
It take me 2 months to figure out what the fuck to wear, man.
Hey, man. I think it was Charles Mingus. He said, "Always dress to impress."
Yeah.
Like you want to,
For sure.
I'm a firm believer.
Hey,
in
you
that.
gonna plug in a second? He's still there? All right.
You got
Yeah.
something to do?
No, my daughter's band
Oh.
has bass player. He wanted to play again over here.
Oh, okay.
And I let them, let him play around. But no, I wanted to get the interview.
Oh, okay, right.
Get the
on.
interview out. But we got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, man.
We can always talk too. But yeah, man, now with the streaming and all that, it just makes I got a distribution deal with Sony.
Oh, okay, cool.
So and it's a small division of Sony. Sony started a smaller label just to see if you start popping up really good in there, they'll come swoop down and
Right,
take you to the big house.
Yeah.
So that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
So I'm
why
gonna drop
not?
6 things, whatever sticks.
Yeah.
And then it'll be 6 more things because we got tons of music.
Hell yeah.
And
That's
what
the
it's
way to do
about
it.
there, man.
I find it interesting that you have this big collection of music, and so what's your how are you marketing these songs and stuff?
Well,
like
we're not marketing yet. That's my son and my daughter and I are here,
okay,
and I'm asking them to step up and do that.
got you,
Because I did it. I
Yeah.
made the music. I can't do everything,
no,
bro.
I agree.
I mean, at this age, I'm burnt now, but it's theirs.
Right,
It's theirs because I didn't have anything. Like I said, my parents didn't have shit to start me off with.
right.
They get to start off with master recordings,
Yeah.
existing royalties, and everything like that. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
I think I did great.
Fuck yeah, you paved a great foundation. For,
Right, and out
for
of it, I
your
got some
people.
smart. I got 3 smart kids, and these 2 right here. My daughter is always singing on songs,
Mhm.
and my son is starting to find songs that I haven't been paid on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's searching and finding stuff, so I'm really appreciating,
That's huge.
having them around. Yeah.
Are you pretty savvy with technology, or are you
No, but I keep up with my shit.
right? I mean,
And
you have
keep my-
Facebook pages.
I keep
and
my
shit.
Facebook page
Yeah.
hilarious or promoting just me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all I
Right.
promote on it because I only got one page. People be liking to get on your page,
Right. Now, I ask this for most of my guests, just especially the musicians. Is there Is there weaknesses or a deficit in your playing that you're working on currently, or something that you've overcome in the past? Like with your playing wise.
Well, at this point with me, I've done what I've done. I mean, you know what I mean?
I know. I question even putting that in.
I know,
because,
but yeah,
because you have such a wide catalog and you've
so
done
it's
your
like,
thing.
Yeah, it's like
But-
perfecting it for what? I mean, try harder.
What about
for
that
what?
jazz career? 20 years. You got
it ain't gonna happen.
No sir.
Yeah, I'm burnt the fuck out, bro.
I feel you. So, you know, with being so close to Motown, well, we are in Motown. I don't know why I said so close.
Yeah.
But you actually being close
that era,
into that,
the
did you have
60s.
Experiences with any of the Motown stars of the 60s?
Well, we chased the Jackson 5 down the airport, tearing their clothes and shit off. You know, back then the radio would be, "Hey, boys and girls, the Jackson 5 are coming into Metro Airport.
Yeah.
Go see your favorite Jackson." And then when they come off the plane, back then you could reach them, you know.
Yeah.
Now security's a bit.
Right.
But back then you could damn near go out there and wait. As soon as they hit the fucking floor, we chased their asses down. Girls is tearing their hair and shit. And then I seen one of the Temptations live in the store one day, and I looked way up to him, Paul Williams, and I was like, damn, that's a Temptation. And then right down the street from me, Marvin Gaye lived on the corner.
Oh, no shit.
So he used to throw the football to us all the time back then.
Oh, no shit. Before he was Marvin Gaye, or
No, while he was Marvin
he was
Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. He did the What's Going On album while he was over there.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
like the album.
Yeah. Marvin was really cool, man. He had a little son that my brother and them used to babysit, little Marvin.
Yeah.
Back then, little Marvin was a little guy running around and shit all crazy. But yeah, man. So we were right in the thick of the Motown era.
Yeah.
And all the songs, all you would hear is Motown all day.
Yeah.
So I always just wanted to be a record label like that. And it changed because there's no radio don't cooperate with you no more or nothing. But what I do like is that it's a whole new medium with the internet.
The internet.
So you just got to grab you a few million that way.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Which ain't so bad.
No, not at all.
Which is easier because back in the day, we used to have to go down the Chitlin Circuit all up down Mississippi, all around into shit. You know, now you can just do that shit with your phone.
Oh, with your phone. Yeah, you get your fan base.
Yeah,
and then
so,
you build.
yeah.
How long you been doing the radio show?
About 6 years.
6
Yeah,
years.
close to 7 years.
Wow. And and it's always been internet.
Yeah.
On the
Oh
internet?
yeah. TapDetroit.com.
And
He's got a big following.
that's amazing.
And it's like 7, 8, 10 different shows on there.
Okay.
Medical Mondays is a motherfucker because they had this whole room. I mean, they had the whole hallway smoked down.
Medical Monday.
Yeah,
I
Medical
like
Mondays
that.
all about the meds and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And so we got the 5XL Large in Charge. When we talk about weed and stuff, my partner is a activist.
Oh, okay.
And then I talk music, and I have a musical guest every now and then that I'm interviewing.
Oh, okay.
So it works out pretty good. I only did that to have a way to play all my music.
Hell yeah.
So
To get it out
30 minutes before we come on,
Uh-huh.
you hearing 30 minutes of the vault.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And the vault is your collection of
just a
music.
collection of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because otherwise, how do I let people hear it?
Yeah, that's smart. Actually, it's
Yeah.
like just a way to promote yourself. even more.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And so you with the radio show, like, what's kind of the format of it? You have music at the beginning, and then
I have music at the beginning. Then we talk weed, talk about different things, and then come back to some more music.
Hmm.
Then Richard be wanting to get his every last little dime out of it. He want to talk to the last minute. But,
Hey,
and it's good though.
These
He's
things
all
are
right.
addicting. These microphones are addicting because you just want to keep blathering.
He just keep talking and talking and talking. So
Which is
but
it's a good skill.
yeah, man, we've been doing that a while, man. I enjoy that.
Yeah, and you said you've been in this building
A year and a half.
for a year and a half, and just so I can give the people listening an idea of where I'm at, I'm in Detroit. What part of town is this?
This is the maybe the southeast part of town,
Southeast.
but this is the building that's called the Russell
Russell.
Industrial,
Okay.
and it's an old building like from 1928,
Yeah, it's
and he used to do a lot of automotive shit back in the day.
yeah. That's what it seemed like a big.
And then Leona Hemsley,
oh
the lady who owned, you remember the hotels and shit?
yeah.
She owned a part of this back in the day.
Oh okay.
too. So it's just got some famous shit and a lot of ghosts. and us.
And you guys here to entertain the
Yeah,
ghosts.
yeah. I mean, you know, I'm cool with ghost shit.
Yeah.
They really liked me because I came. This room, somebody had it that had a lot of bad things going on in it. So it took me a long time to get a bunch of demons out of here. But now I got it nice and cool and like I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
well, it's a great vibe.
yeah,
man.
that's
it's
what
a
I
great
mean.
vibe.
It used to be a bunch of heroin and shit going
Yeah.
on in here, and
Right.
you know, just a lot of nasty shit going on.
Right. Right.
So, but you see, the vibe now is how I wanted it.
How long was this? When did they decide to start trying to like turn it into like an artist like office building?
This had been like this for a long time.
Oh, okay.
I'm new. Like I said,
Right.
I'm here a year and a half. The radio show, he been here 9 years.
Oh, okay.
And there was people here 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know,
So
before
Okay.
they told everybody to get the fuck out. Because, like I said, everybody was doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Without the code and shit like that.
Right.
But then the city felt sorry because there was so many people going on, losing. I mean, that was...
Right. Well, this is an artist.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
those people actually...
it's an art
glass
building.
blowers.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, well, you can stay in, but they had to make the repairs because they didn't have fire alarms. They didn't have shit in here.
Yeah.
But what happened is, the one burned down in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Remember the ghost ship? It was called a ghost ship.
No.
And it's the same kind of this.
Uh-huh.
But in Oakland, it's going to be wood
Yeah.
and stucco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is Detroit, bricks.
Bricks. Yep.
Like, this room ain't burning up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but it burned to the ground and killed 68 people that was living there.
Oh, shit.
You ain't supposed to be living in these places.
Right.
So it just made them more aware of what was going on, and now won't nobody be living in here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to live in here. I just come in and do my shit and get the fuck on.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. So we're getting ready to wrap up here. I'm just still curious on like what your view of how the music in the last, like, let's just say in the last, let's see, this is 2017. In the last 17 years since you've been here, like, how have you seen the shift go, like, with the music?
Well, it's way more whack music now. When we were doing it at Death Row, it was really musicianship.
Well, I'm saying like in Detroit.
Well, in Detroit, you got a lot of people that's following trends that they see on TV, you know?
Yeah, so
Like,
a lot of trap music going.
it was almost losing their identity.
Got
We
it.
don't have to do that. We got
Right.
a special vibe that we should just stick with. But a lot of people just want to get money.
Uh-huh.
If you want to just get the money real quick, then go ahead.
Yeah.
But if you really want to be part of the Motown sound and the part of the Motown legacy,
Uh-huh.
let's just keep it real with the music, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
just come up with original stuff.
Come up with real,
'Cause, yeah, I mean, like, this city has, I mean, like, almost single-handedly as a city, has created an entire sound.
Yeah,
Like,
so, we got to keep that out there. So I'm doing my job of it, like I said, 1,500 tracks later, and I'm
he's doing
always
his job.
recording.
He's doing his job. You guys pick up your slack.
I'm always recording.
Right on, man. Well, I mean, I think we covered a lot.
All right.
Is there any websites or anything you want to promote?
Well, you can catch me on Instagram at TonyGreen731 at Gmail. That's my Instagram title. On Facebook, I think it's Edward Tony Green. Even if you need to know more, there's Wikipedia, Edward Tony Green. Who I don't know where that came from, but and but other than that, if you just need to reach me, you'll find that if you do like my man did here, just dig a little bit and you'll get me.
Oh yeah, just
So-
just Google around a little bit.
Just do a
You'll
little
find
bit.
Mr. Green,
And I'm touchable, so
and he'll answer the phone.
yeah, let's do it.
I would like to be what I call. I was gonna like I'll just send him an email, but then I saw your phone. I was like, you know what, fuck that. Yeah, I was kind of just because I was nervous. Cause
Like, call, man, call.
So
I ain't
I
no
was like,
different.
fuck that. I'm not gonna be a pussy. I'm gonna call him like a
right.
goddamn man.
Yeah, man, I believe in shit like everybody else.
Hey,
So
man.
I'm glad you did, man.
Well, me
I'm
too,
glad.
man. This was
And you gotta come back and cover some of the music. I'm
I'm
probably
down.
play a couple songs, but
I love.
the music is a beast, man. I'll play something for you.
I love to
when you can hear something. But hell yeah, man. So
is there any songs that is out there now that we could play on the show?
Well, you can play anything on the show that's out there. I got a lot of. If you go to, I don't know, who is that? Reverb Nation.
Oh, okay. It has some.
Yeah, some
cuts?
T Money Green.
Okay,
Reverb
I'll grab
Nation.
something off.
And I got that G Funk review too.
What's a?
I think it's Road Work.
Road Work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that because I can go on there and grab a song and put it on here.
Right.
So what's a song that we should play off of that page?
I'll play anyone. Just listen to it and see.
Okay, we're gonna play that and then we'll be right back.
There you go.
Every time I see you and your girl, she's staring at me straight in my eyes. Straight in my eyes. And when I'm alone with her, she's telling me you ain't treating her right. Treating her right.
She's coming on to me, telling me she needs a little attention. Yeah. So all I can do is tell you the truth and let you make a decision.
'Cause I don't really know you. If you're not careful, I'm taking your girl. If you're not careful, your girl's coming home with me. If you're not careful, I'ma have her in my bed saying
When you're thinking your girl's alone, she's probably sitting right by my side. Talking about your other girls and telling me she ain't going home tonight.
she's coming on to me, telling me she wants a little revenge. Yeah. So all I can do is tell you the truth. I'ma do what I gotta do. 'Cause I don't even know you. If you're not careful, I'm taking your girl. If you're not careful, your girl's coming home with me. If you're not careful, I'ma have her in my bed saying we on the verge of getting on. Don't go looking for your girl, she ain't at home. We Sha-da-da-da-dee-da-da. W.I. Shabby-dabba-doo-da-da. Don't mind feeling. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313. Yo, I've been sentenced to a life of doing hard rhymes. Solitary confined through some pretty dark times. Scarred a couple times by some pretty sharp knives. So mentally survive with my witty sharp mind. I'm locally inclined to be so vocally despised. Fucking lock me in the booth until I'm socially refined. Smoke dispensaries till the weeds dry. I ain't putting fucking limits on my dreams this time. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313.
I'm a lost cause. Take a brief pause, nose bloodied up at 7 a.m. Face is full of gauze, my stomach's full of paste. My skin's a toxic waste. I sweat and shake, do anything I can to get this cake. And people say I'm fake. People sleep while they're awake, and people judge and can't relate who never even caught a case. I'm sick of lying stakes and being ripped off by the banks. Close my eyes for the last time, numbed out face on this plate.
Sha-di-da-da-dee-da-da. Sha-di-da-da-dee-da-da. W.I. Sha-di-da-da-dee-da-da. Weed. Whoa. Sha-di-da-da-dee-da-da. Sha-di-da-da-dee-da-da. W.I. Sha-di-da-da-dee-da-da. Now I'm out up on the block, plotting my survival. Death on arrival with the sign, no revival. Hand on the Bible, 13th disciple. Fighting for the title with the times fucking vital. Taking out my rivals like a highly powered rifle. Think you seen it all? Well, I got another eyeful. Fucking press the final, mysticism's final. Watch the world spiral while my shit goes viral. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313.
I'm in disbelief, no release, no relief. The same bars I repeat. Got a dragon on my back, except now I'm chasing beats. And these sneaks have been creeping like a beast, a ninja shadow priest. Searching for chemical peace, just a piece of my beliefs that I put down on these sheets. And before the beast cease, find a way to catch a lease so I can finally live in peace. Smoke this last one time, I gotta have my sweet leaf, siphon my lungs and free my mind. Come on.
Rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313. I'm a dope rhyme villain and I smoke a lot of weed. I'm a microphone killer, there ain't no stopping me. Homegrown, cold to the bone, MC, motherfucking OG from the 313.
And we're back.
Yeah,
That was a good song.
I told you, man. All you gotta
Hey.
do is reach in that catalog and you can pull anything out.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just got that feel. Okay, Mr. Green, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Nice
this
meeting
has
you,
been
man.
a wonderful
Thanks for coming
experience. True honor to
Yes, sir. Come on
meet
down, man.
meet the
Come on
the
down and
G-Funk
see us
era.
in action.
Yeah. So where's the next place you playing?
Well, different places, but I'm always playing in
Okay.
here.
So
I've been having events in here.
oh,
So
this
you
is
see
like a
that
little
throne?
nightclub right now.
Yeah, you see that throne over there where my bass is sitting on top of it,
Oh, okay.
and right next to it is my amp.
There you go.
So I'm always.
What are you playing through?
I'm playing through the guy who made that for me. It's man,
Oh, shit.
He'd be
Oh,
mad
shit.
as hell. He'd be mad as hell if he knew I couldn't remember the name of the amp, man.
Blackport.
Blackport is the cabinet.
Is that a local thing
Yeah,
here?
that's a local guy. Good friend of mine.
And
Yeah, I spilled this water.
yeah, we spill a little
We
water.
spilled some water all over the place.
Okay, I'll make this the last question because that might be important. What's like your baby bass? That's the bass that you take out with you.
Well, I'm one of those guys, one bass.
One bass kind of
Because a
guy.
lot of guys have 4 basses and can't fucking play one of them. So I'm one guy. I got one bass, a Spectre bass that I play the hell out of.
Spectre,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, that's it, man. Fuck that. I don't need 4 or 5 basses.
And is it 4 or 5 string?
4 string.
4
I'm old
string,
school.
classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
The 5 string is like, I don't feel like starting all over.
You know what? I hear a lot of people talking shit on 5 string. I like 5 string. I like that low B, man. That low B is just, I mean, like, especially with R&B.
I mean, I like it too.
But I feel what you're saying as a player, because I play bass too a little bit, and a 5 string would be for just starting
There
over.
wasn't no 5 string around when I was doing it. Wasn't no 5 string.
Oh, okay. That's a new
therefore,
thing.
That's real foreign. And then the new generation jumped on the 5 string.
Right on.
That's cool.
Okay, well, I think we can end it on that. Fuck 5 strings.
Hey, there you go. Fuck 5 strings.
All right. Thank you, sir. I want to thank Tony Green for being generous with his time and, just being really open and honest about his experiences. And I want to thank tapdetroit.com. And I need you guys to go over there. I'll put a link in the show notes, and you guys can go and check that out. Also, I want to give some names to those songs. Since we didn't really plan on playing music on the show that I did with them, we played more than one song. So that might seem a little off after listening to 3 songs in a row and saying, that's a great song. So let me just give you a little shout out. Let's see. If You're Not Careful was the first song. The second song was In the Room. Those are both T Money Green originals. And then he also produces a band called the Dope Rhyme Villains. And this was the title track off of the Dope Rhyme Villains album. I think it's a self-titled album. Let me see. Tony produced and recorded those tracks for them, and I told him I'd throw a song up there. So hope you enjoyed that. Again, write the show at wespeakenglishgood@gmail.com, and you can also check out the website, wespeakenglishgood.net. Well, that'll do it. Here's to another 100 episodes. And thanks a lot for listening and being a part of my life and my journey, which sounds really cheesy, but it really does mean a lot that people are actually listening. So that's weird, but awesome. So be nice to your fellow human beings. HJs for everybody. Stay up, baby.